So we're in Clovis, California, and we're going to repipe some piping that another plumbing contractor has installed. They took, over here you can see they took a combination, an inch and a half combination fitting, and just piped through the back of the cabinet and came over here. I've already disassembled everything. P-trap, tubular, whatnot, at the 45 on there. The only problem they had was this pipe, they didn't get any glue on it. You can see it's practically dry. A little tab right there. Inside the pipe is the worst part. We don't know how this happened, but you can see that the top portion, which is not where it drains, but in the bottom portion, a huge buildup of glue right here on the bottom. And then what happens when glue hits water, it spreads out like there. And if this pipe were in a vertical position, it would just close the whole pipe through. Anyway, so that's hard glue all across the bottom. That fitting needs to be cut out and then replaced. And then we'll get something back in here. This was already piped. Everything was working good, except for it was leaking right here, dripping down on this pipe. So we're going to cut this out, put another coupling in, reinstall this. Hopefully this pipe doesn't have too much glue on it, which it doesn't appear that it does. So we'll just dry this off, glue it in, make sure we get this arm installed correctly. And the reason being is this arm was pointing down, which means pointing down at an angle like that. And so we'll get that plumb back in. Anyways, we'll go up some parts, come back, take another video when we're done. So still here in Clovis, California, we just finished repairing this drain line. It was leaking at the coupling. So what we did, as opposed to reusing old plumbing, we cut the piping all the way back to this portion of the cabinet. We don't like to see piping or couplings or fittings out in the middle because it puts stress at the middle of the pipe. You could have grade where it's going down and then the other pipe going up. And so what we've done is cut it all the way back to here, put a brand new coupling in. This is all their existing plumbing, so we don't warrant any of this work. Hopefully everything is good in this compartment. This we cut back, so we've got an 1.5 inch coupling. Sorry about the shaking. 1.5 inch coupling, full piece of pipe all the way through to here. We replaced the 45. The reason being is that's their piping, and that's their adapter. And in the event that there are any more leaks, then we've done a repair. And it takes the same amount of time, to put all this back together and to run a new piece from there. So no additional cost in labor. Additionally, this 45-degree fitting, when you put fittings in, you need to be straight up and down with them for drainage, or you can turn them up somewhat so that the water, rolls downhill. Unfortunately, that pipe was pointing downhill, so it was pushing the water, trying to push the water uphill. So we just cut the whole thing out. That's the old piece there, old piping here, old trap sitting up here. They got a trap with an adapter on it, and then a short little tiny piece on the end. So what we did is we just pulled it all out, and you can see right now that's got some grade on it. Those little hash tags, those little bubbles on the right, that indicates 1/8 inch a foot, and then 1/4, and then 3/8, and then 1/2. Those little tiny bubbles. So we got an 1/8 inch a foot grade, which is fine. Should be 1/4. You could certainly, brace this up over here where it goes through the second hole. But it's sitting down hard on the trap right now. It's right on the cabinet, so that's supporting it nice. Everything's new. The 45 trap adapter, tubular P-trap. Extension is theirs, so we're going to leave that in place. Wouldn't have any problem with that, so it's tightened back down. We're going to let it dry before you run the water, and then the homeowner can come in here if they want and clean up some of this debris. When they were installing cabinets, they left a bunch of sawdust down here and whatnot. Don't have any zip ties, so if you'd like that tied back up, great. Just don't have any with me. I apologize for that. Don't tie them too tight, but you see you're collapsing that one braided line a little bit. Anyway, so this project we own this now. So that piping is ours. We warrant this installation all the way over to here. The braided lines, no, those are connected, and so we don't have anything to do with those. We'll get the water dried up down in this compartment in here. Outside of that, this installation is done.